I recently read a book, I should say reread a book, Malcolm Gladwell, The Tipping Point. And in the book, he talks about the 10,000 hours you need to become an expert really at something. And so I thought about my life, and I grew up in Austin with allergies and asthma, which is very common today. In fact, 1 in 5 people suffer from allergies or asthma. That's actually 60 million Americans. And with the condition of allergies and asthma, there are things called triggers. A trigger could be dander, smoke, maybe a chemical in the air, pollen, anything. And everyone's triggers are different. Some people have food allergies. And I was what they call the panallergic child. So I had allergies to food, I had allergies to pet dander, I had allergies to substances, meaning like the smokes and the dust and things of that nature. And so we were very fortunate, and again, this is beginning the 10,000 hours, that my mom and dad had selected a holistic pediatrician. Some might call him a hippie doctor, but today you'd say holistic. And this doctor, Dr. Williams, I remember him fondly. He very much, I guess, was my doctor until I was maybe 12 or 13 years old. And his view was you can raise a strong child or you can raise a child on strong medicine. So his ideology was what you eat, what's in your indoor, your home, what is in your exercise level will all affect you for the rest of your life. Fast forward years later, decades later, I've built a business that's now 20 years old. And what do we talk about? The ecosystem in your home. It's not just ecosystem for the world. It's when you think about your home, indoor air quality can be actually 8 times worse. And that means you could come in from the outside and you've hermetically sealed yourself in. You don't let any fresh air in. You don't recognize now we're all working from home due to this pandemic, and your office machines actually emit volatile organic compounds. So you need to open the windows or fan out that room a little bit so your laser printer isn't making you sick, as an example. If you spray bathroom cleaner in your bathroom, then what are you spraying in your kitchen? And now you've got to let it air out every once in a while. And those are some of the basics about your indoor air quality, which if you don't let it air out every once in a while, it can be 8 times worse. As any designer will tell you, upcycling. Brown furniture is something so many people avoid today. They're just like, oh, that looks like my grandmother's house. And I'm like, but that's real wood. It's not a fake wood. It's not a certain, chemically treated wood. It's real old wood. It's already off-gassed. So why not take that piece of old furniture and sand it, stain it, paint it, get it painted, and now use a low to no VOC paint or stain and make it blue or white or restain it, to a color that you prefer. And when you tell people that, they're like shocked. But I will tell you with my last little sentence to introduce myself is to say, sustainability can also be upcycling. On this journey, being a designer, I am not really trained. Okay, so that's the other side of it. Some people are like, oh, you have to go to design school. You have to. And I'm like, some people need that. I have a master's in real estate finance. So what did I do? I had to look at buildings and architecture and work with developers and understand. So I've seen a lot of spaces, and I know good design and I know poor design, and I know timeless classic design with a modern touch. And so with that is how I design, is what I call the feel. Like you walk in, you analyze your client, you listen to them. You say to your client, is this your sanctuary or is this your entertainment space? Are you left-handed? Are you right-handed? Do you have children? Do you have pets? Do you anticipate staying in this space for the rest of your life? Just think when you talk to your clients, I would say, what do they need? It's not your home. It's what do they need? and what do they plan to use the space for? And by the way, there are people who they never have people over, right? They just want it to be designed nicely for them. And that's something else that a lot of people are afraid to ask that question, but we always assume it's for other people. And you might say to someone who doesn't have a lot of company, do you read a lot? Do you watch TV a lot? Normally I wouldn't put a recliner chair in, right? But maybe I'm going to put a chair that looks like a regular chair, but it's a recliner built in, and that's the kind of thing you really need to understand what your client wants. If it's your forever home, and if it is your forever home, in your 50s, design it for your 70s, because you might not have that disposable income in your 70s. If a company is willing to pay for the certification and it's a qualified certification, shop that company. It will make the industry change. It will make the consumer also start to say, I want that. We had that, I think, you think of the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval, right? Or Underwriter's Laboratory. You knew that if you plug that lamp in, it wasn't going to go
right.
And your house catches on fire, right? So UL certifications would have been for electrical, Energy Star for appliances. We just need to support the businesses that pay the money to get that certification. I also will tell you, I love shopping in North Carolina. That sounds crazy, but Furnitureland South has like 1 million square feet of floor space and products. There are plenty in that High Point area, and you contact them and you say, my client's looking for this, and send them a picture and they'll walk the floor for you and find it. Sometimes it's much less than the retail store. We need to stop the use of plastics in the way that we're seeing, because it's starting to invade, and plastics do have a what's the right term? They do affect our endocrine system.